What's hot, what's not? Time now for Trenders on social media. You can check us out on Twitter at Ed Show and at We Got Ed. And, of course, at WeGotEd.com. You can get my podcast. It's up every day at noon Eastern Time. That's what I'm doing. All right, the Ed Show Social Media Nation has decided we're reporting here today's top Trenders voted on by you. JaVale is here. The number 3 trender, got milk?
The new postage stamp commemorating former San Francisco supervisor Harvey Milk.
The stamp reflects our long-standing commitment to civil rights.
He was a real activist for justice.
Thanks to Harvey, our society is better forever.
The new Harvey Milk stamp has anti-gay groups showing their intolerance.
The American Family Association is calling for a boycott of the Harvey Milk stamp.
You'll be sorry.
The American Family Association wants people not to buy the stamp and to return mail that carries it.
The number 2 trender, bugged out.
Grasshoppers are invading Albuquerque in nearly biblical proportions.
Clouds. I mean, there were like literally thousands out there.
It looked like their sidewalks were moving and shaking.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
New Mexico's grasshopper invasion is on everyone's radar.
The National Weather Service was seeing blobs on the radar.
Yeah, we actually thought that the radar was broke.
What did you see, grasshopper?
They weren't storms, they were swarms of grasshoppers.
At night, those grasshoppers are flying 1,000 feet in the air.
But don't worry, they're expected to be gone in a few weeks.
I'm sorry, grasshopper.
And today's top trender, preliminary goals.
The election is this Tuesday.
Attorney and women's activist Sandra Fluke is running for office, hoping to land a Senate seat in Sacramento.
Activist Sandra Fluke fights for a seat in California's 26th.
My career has actually not been about figuring out how to get into elected office.
If this many people feel like they really want my voice in elected office, then I probably have a responsibility to take this seriously.
This is going to be a very close election, and we are giving it everything we've got.
Joining us tonight, Sandra Fluke, candidate for California State Senate. Great to have you with us, Sandra. You, of course, came on the scene several years ago after Rush Limbaugh attacked you viciously on the radio for 3 days. You have been the focal point of a lot of positive commentary for standing up under that criticism and now entering into the political arena for a state Senate seat in California. How do you feel about going into tomorrow's primary, and is this what you want to do for a career?
Well, I feel great about tomorrow. We have incredible momentum going into Election Day. We've announced a number of great endorsements just recently. Folks like the LGBTQ Pride PAC, Wolf PAC, various elected officials from around the district. And I've been most heartened to have the endorsement of both of the local newspapers that have weighed in, especially because they wrote that this is not just about my national platform and the leadership and the character that I displayed in how I responded to the attacks against me, but that it's about my clear and specific policy ideas and my understanding of local issues, because that's really where I've been focused during this campaign. So we have amazing momentum. I'm really excited about tomorrow, but it's going to be a very close election.
And what are the voters in your district most concerned about? What do you continue to hear?
Well, you know, I think that they're looking for someone who, like me, is going to get to Sacramento and focus on environmental protection, on preventing climate change and global warming and protecting our coast, as well as investing in education at the early childhood level, the public school level, and in affordability of higher education. But I'm hearing from a lot of people around the district that they're very concerned about some of what they've seen in this campaign as well. Some rather disturbing independent expenditures, special interests coming in and trying to take these decisions away from voters, as well as some of the unfair and personal attacks against candidates. And I'm very proud of my campaign because I am actually the only leading candidate who has not engaged in those kinds of tactics and who is not beholden to special interests. This campaign has been funded by, at this point, over 1,800 different individual donors. Our average donation size is still $240. So I'm accountable to the voters, and I'll be able to be an independent representative speaking and fighting for them in Sacramento, and I'm really proud of that.
Well, now, Sandra, one final point I want to make is that, you know, the EPA today came out with an announcement that they want to reduce carbon emissions by 30%. And there's some polling out there now showing that even in Republican districts, this is what the American people want. But, you know, it's going to be hard to get because of the corporate interests. Where do you stand on that? Do you support what the EPA did today? And, of course, in Sacramento, there's going to be a lot of decisions about energy. Take us down that road.
No, I absolutely think we need to invest in clean energy. I want to see California increase our renewable portfolio standard, the percentage of our energy that comes from clean energy sources. And we actually just unfortunately saw a very important piece of legislation to put a moratorium on fracking that was held in committee. So I'm very anxious to get there and to fight for California to continue to lead the way on these types of issues because they are so critically important. I mean, for us in California, water is a huge concern, and I have a plan to make sure that we're doing what we can locally as well as around the state to conserve, to recycle, and to capture rainwater as well.
Sandra Fluke, all the best. Good to have you with us on the Ed Show.
Thank you, Ed.
We will follow up for sure. Thanks so much. You bet. Still ahead, Ted Cruz comes out on top in the Southern straw poll for 2016. All I can say to that is, oh boy. So much for the new Republican Party. And later, President Obama is taking real action to combat climate change while conservatives continue to deny scientific evidence. Robert Kennedy Jr. joins us tonight here on The Ed Show. But next, I'm taking your questions. Ask Ed Live on The Ed Show on MSNBC is next. We are right back.